to anyone who is watching this video. I got a comment by someone telling me they were interested in the process of producing Commodore 64 music, and I thought to stall my tutorial even further that I'll just make a quick video. I don't know how long this will be. I'll try to keep it short, but just showing the process of behind how I produce my music. So I think to start, I mean, I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm gonna start just off with the bass. When you're doing bass, you can choose whether you want to have the kick and bass in the same instrument, which I think I am gonna do, because I don't know, I do both sometimes, but I think for this video I'm gonna have them in the same instrument. That sounds... what is happening? That's right. Whoops. Okay, so you can use any pitch above 80 to use definite pitch, which means that the pitch of the note doesn't change whenever you play a note. So it'll stay the same pitch that you set it at. So we just set this somewhere like in A. Maybe. Right now I'm just trying to find a good pitch, a good note to start the kick sound off. I like that. And then from here I'm just pitching this downward, so just picking notes that are lower each time. So F E D C B A 9876. I'll probably do something like that. That sounds good. Maybe I'll add one more. Now, what I can do is I can make all these 0 and then give this a bit of release, so it sounds like this. That doesn't sound very good. Oh. No, I could maybe... Nah, I won't do that. Those zeros basically mean gate off, so when it hits that waveform, it's gonna stop the note. But I'm just gonna keep this short enough. Let's add a bit of movement to this. Maybe what I'll do is I'll push this. So this is gonna, what this is gonna do is it's gonna start in the middle. It's gonna start right in the middle as a full pulse. It's gonna go forward just a tiny bit. Then it's gonna go forward a little bit more, and then it's gonna go back, and then it's gonna repeat the going forward and back. So when it resets the pulse, when it does its looping, it's not gonna what's it gonna do? It's gonna not reset back to the middle pulse, which can sound a little bit jarring sometimes. Maybe I'll make that even just a little bit less. That sounds nice. We can add a bass, or not a bass, we can add a filter to this now. So I'll use B, which is band pass and low pass, which I personally prefer. Now what I'll do is we'll have this pitch down, or go down. What? Now that it's done that, we can make a little filter sweep. Maybe just a small one. For this first number, it's going to be how many steps it takes, and this is going to be how big each step is. Pretty much, that's how I like to think about it. So we can make it take a few small steps, which is good for 10-10. And I'll just set that on loop from 2. Whoops, that needs to be F. Maybe what I could do is I could let me see, 8 like, so this is just, yeah, I'm gonna make it take a few less steps, maybe like C, like this, 2, and then lower this. That's way too fast. Take more steps, but slower. So you could put it on C and then. That sounds good. Actually, maybe the resonance could be turned down a bit, and I kind of want it to be a bit deeper. That sounds good. I don't know, I'm just gonna so for this video I'm probably just gonna make a small loop, because you know I can't make a full song in one video. Maybe a bit faster. Boom, boom, boom. This could be like boom, boom. And then if we do 2, let's come back into here. Let's make a let's make a snare. So the snare could be like that, I think. Is a good. What I'll do is we'll go FE3, and then we'll have these be different pitches. So we'll just start off. This can be DF, and so can that, and this can be. So okay, we need to make this 88. We could be like 8-7. That's good. this instrument sets the instrument number, so our bass is 1 and our snare is 2. Maybe, so this command is 2, which pitches it down, so this is going to pitch down right at the end, which maybe will sound cool. Sounds right. I messed up. Okay. Then paste it back in. And then we'll have it go down to a different note here. D would be cool. Like so 3, this command here will add legato to the sound, so it'll glide, or not, portamento. That sounds cool. Now, what I want to do is I just want to pitch this whole tune down by a little bit. So, if we add one of these here, 8 means pitch down. So what we'll do is it goes backwards from F. So I'll go F, E, D, C, B, F, E, D, C. Try C. That sounds pretty good. I'll make a lead sound now. I mean, these are relatively simple to make. Okay, give it a bit of release. Pitch it down 1 octave. And then maybe what I'll do . Like just a light sounds right. It's just a bit loud. The headphones I have on right now aren't the best. Well, they are, but I have the wired version to stop it from having latency, so yeah. It sounds a bit off. Could give this a bit of so this is vibrato, and it's giving it that pitch wobble. Down, And I'll just copy this. And we'll make a slight variation on this one. I'll just turn that down a bit. I'll make a chord now. We could either do a sustained chord or maybe a more plucky chord. It could be like put this on 4. So what I'll do is C. So this is just setting the notes of the chord. So this basically just means a minor chord with the root layered on top of it. And what I can do is if I go like that, not like that. Yeah, we get a little pluck. And I forgot to add the pulse, and I also need to add the instrument number here. So now what I want to do is we are gonna. So if I delete all these instrument numbers and I come to this pulse thing here, and I make a really slow sweep. So we'll go take like 40 steps, and each one has a size of like 8. It's gonna slowly get closer towards that end, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make this a little bit more. Can we make it 1? Maybe even. So the idea of this is I want it to start at the 1 pulse cycle, and then I want it to end at the F pulse cycle, so like at the other side, so that when it resets it just sounds like it's going back to 1, so it goes a full pulse throughout the whole thing. So well, I'm just gonna pitch this down to match our notes, and we need to give this a new chord number. Okay, I don't want to. Okay, so the chord changes to D here, so then we don't need any of these commands, which is going to be a pain to get rid of. And then what we can do is we can just pitch this. I'll pitch it up to D because it kind of does go up. Oh. Okay, that's good. Then we need to make chord 2, which I'm gonna make this a 7th chord, so I think it's major 7th, and then wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10. So I'm gonna go 10 if I want to layer that on top of it. Okay, sounds good. Unfortunately, because of my keyboard, I can't mute the 2nd track, so I'm just gonna turn that off pretty much, just so we can get a better listen to how this chord sounds. So you can hear that it's not, by the time it resets, it resets right here. So you can hear that it sounds it's jarring, and it goes to the next one very quickly. It resets the pulse quite jarringly. So we're gonna try to fix that, right? I mean, you watch the pulse. I realized the issue. This should be on FE, and then it'll loop from 0, and it'll keep looping that. What? Oh. So this is actually too fast. Okay, this is not quite. No, I'll make this. That's not quite gonna do it either. That sounds pretty good. Maybe down a little bit. Yeah, so that's a resetting at a fair time. Now, if we turn everything back on, I think. We'll just turn the chord down a little bit. So I think this sounds alright. We could probably make this a bit more interesting. So maybe I could add some kind of. Let's do some more interesting things with the pitch here. So could we make this like pitch up like 1 or something? And then we could pitch down here. Doesn't sound half bad. Maybe pitch up here instead. That sounds pretty good. Now, we could try something here with, like, we could try and make this, like, I don't know, do something, so 5 sets the sustain volume, and because this instantly goes to the sustain volume and then releases from that point, this is just essentially setting the volume, so we could make a more interesting rhythm with this, I guess. So this is essentially emphasizing the beats, which the 1 and the 1, 2, 3, and 4, which is not really what I want. I kind of want this to emphasize the offbeat, so do kind of. So we'll turn it down. I'll just use 6 for this because I can't type anything into there right at the moment. It'll be 8, and then we can do this for the rest of this. I will cut this out so you don't have to watch it all. It appears we have run into a slight roadblock. We can't change the volume for this first one because it's being used to reset the pulse and also change the chord. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reset the pulse one before, and hopefully that sounds alright. That sounds pretty good. I'll make a second variation to this. So what I'll do is we'll make variations to each of these. For the first one, I'm going to add a fill to the drum, to the kick and bass and snare. So so let's I'm just gonna add a few of these. So I'm just gonna make this pitch down, so you'll see. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make all these zeros and then give this release and a pulse width. So this kind of sounds like a diminished chord right now, which I'm not a fan of. Okay, just had a happy birthday sung to me, but let's get back into it. It is my birthday today. Oh, what did I just do? Nothing. Okay. I'm just gonna pitch this down to make it sound more like a tom. I should have said that. I'm making it a tom drum. Wait. Nine. It could be 7. So what I want to avoid is I want to avoid intervals of 3, because then that's how you get diminished chords. If you have 2 intervals of 3 in a row, it's gonna sound like a diminished chord, which is not gonna sound good. I want this to be mostly atonal. So this F is pitching it down. I think that sounds pretty good. What I might do though is I'm just gonna make a variation to our lead. Dun, dun, dun. Dun. We make that D. If I move this here and cut it off right here, then it'll give that fill more time to you know, show up. I have an idea for what I could change on the chords. Okay, that's really good. Now I'll keep this, so it's B, but I'll make this maybe 6 BB, and then, so this is setting the release, so now it's going to play for longer, but I'll make it a bit quieter, and pitch it down. Well, yeah, alright, I'll do an intro. I won't do a full intro. I actually have an idea. Sometimes if I want to avoid making an intro, I'll just do one that's like 1, 2, and then it goes straight into it. So I think that's a good idea. Okay, so there we go. So now this should be like dun, 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 dun. This is pretty cool. Well, it's actually not, because I haven't made the intro yet, but shh. I'll make this, we could be like, do, it's going, do, maybe instead it could be like, do, What we could do is, what did I just do? It's fine. I can take the fill from the second part in here and copy that to here, so it goes, it'd be like, maybe instead what we do is what? There we go. Alright, well, I'm pretty happy with this. Yeah, let's take a listen to the final result. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I thought it would just be cool to, you know, show you into the realm of SID production. The only you know, I don't think any people are going to be watching to the end on this video. I more made this video just, I guess, just in case, because I know when I was first starting out with making music in SID-Wizard, I really struggled with like I was so unconfident in what I was doing, and I think if I had someone there that was kind of making music right in front of me, I think that would have been more helpful for me. I'll probably edit this video down a little bit. So as I'm recording this, currently I'm at 40 minutes. So, you know, we went a bit over time. I probably won't release this anywhere, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe. I don't care. Do what you want.